Hey folks, welcome back to Little Red Wagon Adventures. John and Christy here with our friend Jason, who's come to help us today to go over the parts that we are going to be using to fix the Little Red Wagon. So as most of you know, in our last video we showed buying our Little Red Wagon. It's a 1997 Subaru Legacy GT Wagon. It's red, very red, and it has some needs to it that need to be fixed. So we're going to talk about those today. We're going to show you the parts that we bought. There's a few, and we had to wait for them to come in. So next video is going to show us actually installing those parts, but today we're going to talk about them and how important it is to actually go through a vehicle that you're going to be using, because we're going to be using this on a lot of adventures. So we're going to go through that today, and that's going to be mainly these two, because they're the ones who, John's a mechanic and Jason's a mechanic, so they can kind of go over all the video or all the parts with you. Okay, so here we go, folks.
Alright guys, we got exhaust because somebody rednecked our exhaust on our Subaru Legacy.
But redneck is not a bad thing. So what they did was, coming out of the Y, out of our 97 Subaru, they just drilled a hole in a piece of pipe, JB welded the sensor back in, so it's not really reading. The pipe overheats the sensor, which causes the sensor to malfunction. So what we did was we just went ahead and ordered the stock exhaust back for the car to put it back to original.
And yes, they did straight pipe it.
Seriously?
Straight pipe.
Straight pipe.
Yeah. So next items up is our brakes. Everybody knows how crucial brakes are, and Jason and I did an inspection on the brakes and felt like, you know what, it's just easier just to replace them. They're brand new, especially all the travel that we'll be doing. I didn't want to have to stop halfway or somewhere and either replace pads or rotors on the side of the road or somewhere where we're off-roading. We also got bearings, wheel bearings, for the two front hubs. For the two front hubs. And when you're replacing the bearings, never just replace one. Replace both of them in the front or both in the rear or all four at the same time. And the reason why is because you don't know the wear on the other one that you have not replaced. So you have to assume that it's just as worn out as the one you are replacing. Alright guys, next up on our parts list, since we talked about the exhaust, we went with struts all the way around, all four struts, front and rear. We're making this an overland rig. The 97 Legacy GT Wagon is going to be our overland rig. So we went with the 2004 Forester struts to give us about 1.5 to 2 inches of clearance on the struts. And I have, looks like I have the front strut right here.
They're the strut assemblies.
Whole strut assembly, yep. Whole strut assembly for that. Hopefully it'll give us the height we want. Jace, you have the rear, I believe. Very nice.
The rear.
Very nice.
With all the changes we're making mechanically, so that this thing will run safely and smoothly down the road, we also have to look at the exterior. How does it look like running down the road? As you can see, it's decent. No major dings, scratches, dents. Looks in really pretty good shape for the age and for how much we paid for it. You look down the side here, it's pretty smooth. Then the first thing you come to is the passenger mirror, and it's duct taped on. Yes, that is duct tape, so that will be replaced. I don't know how that thing's staying on, but it is. And then you come around to the front and you can see a dent there, and the headlight is cracked, so we're going to have to replace that. But relatively not bad. Then you have the interior, and this is the passenger front. The mirror will need to be replaced inside and out, and the switch for that mirror will need to be replaced. The next thing we're going to look at is the console between the driver and passenger seat. The top is missing, the lid is missing, and so we need to replace that. We'll have to find one at a boneyard. Then the next thing we're going to be looking at is the stereo, and the stereo needs to be replaced also. There's knobs missing. We want to make it wireless so that we can safely drive down the road and be on the phone if we need to, talking to people and letting them know our progress on our adventures. And finally we come to the driver's side door panel. It needs to be replaced along with the mirror on the driver's side. It also needs to be replaced. You can see that there. So we're going to make it run good and look good.
It was too bad.
Yeah, we got the car for a heck of a steal. We really did. John negotiated. The woman had bought another car and was just, her son was like destroying this car just because he did not know how to work on this car.
Yeah.
And thus the cut brake lines and the cut
Wheel sensor,
ABS, parking brake. And I think the ad said engine had been gone through, but it still won't run right or something, or it's overheating. And I just
redneck engineering.
Yeah.
On most of the car.
Yeah. So.
Which isn't a bad thing.
It gets you where you need to go.
Yeah. Poor man's
but
got
when
poor
you're going to
ways.
be doing some great adventures all over this wonderful country, you need it to run right.
Kind of want it back to OEM.
So we have invested in it so that we can have our adventures without any major issues.
Well, we hope.
Hopefully.
I don't know. We've been broke down on the side of the road many times and had to work it right there. It's kind of a bummer deal.
Always take tools.
Yeah.
Always take tools with you.
And then sometimes an angel shows up, and they've got more than you've got, so they help you out.
Yep. And sometimes you're that angel. And that's
kidding.
how life is. You help people, people help you.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll see you next time on
Little Red Wagon Adventures.